We host a 51-acre facility with props that can utilize live fuels. And by live fuels, we mean we burn wood, gas, and diesel for live fire props. We train recruit academies up here. We conduct 5 12-week recruit academies a year. Among those recruits, they come from all parts of Washington State from different agencies. We teach basic and advanced fire training skills, so those firefighters are prepared to go back and serve their departments and their communities. First and foremost, I'd like to mention that, as always, our #1 priority up here is the safety of our recruits, our instructors, and our fire training staff, as well as our surrounding community. So at no time will we ever put any of our recruits in danger, and there should be no risk of contamination to anybody up here training if and when there is somebody that needs to utilize the facility for quarantine. We have made precautions and efforts to make sure our recruits in training is away from the facility, and we will continue to train up here business as usual.
Do we have any questions?
Has anything, Aditi with Tyler, so has anything different been done with the dorms where people could be placed?
You mean as far as special modifications or anything?
Anything like that?
No. All we have done to date is we have relocated our recruits to another facility for overnight accommodations, and we have not done any additional accommodations or additions or modifications to our dormitories.
When you talk about the medical staff that will be on campus, you talked about how the people who will be here will not show symptoms. But we've heard reports that it's possible, anything is possible, that things could spread without symptoms. There's a lot of unknowns.
There are a lot of unknowns, and again, we're not the medical side of this. Any questions regarding the specifics of the medical care, the medical planning, any kind of triage planning or plans of care should be directed to the Department of Health.
How will our quarantine site be different than the others? The others we know are on military bases. This is the only one that's not a military base.
Well, this is a secure facility, as you saw coming in. This is a facility that's owned and operated by the Washington State Patrol. Washington State Patrol, by its nature, and law enforcement, is a paramilitary organization in itself. So there are security protocols, there are security resources that are here that obviously we're not going to be able to discuss for tactical reasons. But this is a place that, again, separate from large population areas, remote in its own. It's hard to get here, as you saw coming through those winding roads. But it's a safe facility, a secure facility, and it's available, readily available, run by the state.
Have you done this kind of activity before here ever?
I don't believe you.
No, we've not. This is the first time we've been asked to make these type of accommodations.
Was it chosen for its remoteness, or was it a logistical thing between Fort Lewis or JBLM and?
I do not know the answer to that, or what criteria we met to be chosen.
Again, I would direct that question to the Department of Health.
When did WSP find out that this facility was being selected by the DOH to be used for this purpose?
I found out personally over the weekend that this was being considered, but you may have had.
Yeah, halftime Super Bowl.
Conversations before that.
Yeah, about 6 o'clock Sunday evening.
Yeah, I got that same notice then.
Now, you mentioned it's very possible that this facility may not be used. What likelihood is there? We're talking about SeaTac Airport being one of 11 airports where flights from Hubei province are being funneled. And so there's tons of people on those flights.
Well, for the information that I've been provided by the Department of Health is that the normal flow from that portion of China into SeaTac is very, very small. And they're not anticipating a great deal more than the normal. From what I was told, it may be zero that come through. But whoever comes through, again, there's going to be a service there, a medical service there, that will categorize people into those 3 basic categories. One is the category of folks who are able to continue to travel. They have not been exposed to the virus, they have not been in the area where the virus has exhibited itself. They're going to be allowed to travel on, but encouraged to self-monitor and to self-quarantine if necessary. The second would be folks who are symptomatic, that they are showing some manifestation of the disease, of the illness, and they'll be taken to a hospital. They'll be directly dealt with on a medical, or served in a medical way. And the third are folks who have been in the Humbai project, and make sure I'm saying that correctly, have been in the Humbai province, and so there may have been some exposure. They are going to be asked to self-quarantine for up to 2 weeks. But many of those folks, obviously, if you're traveling, this is not your destination, you don't have a home to quarantine in. That's why this facility is going to be used. And so you're talking about a sliver of a sliver of a sliver of the folks who may or may not be coming through CTAC. So when you start doing each of that, you realize the diminution of chance with each one of those. It's a reasonable expectation it's going to be a very small number, if any at all.
What's the capacity? It would be exceeded?
The dorm has a capacity, has 44 beds, 20 rooms. However, during normal recruit academy operations, the dormitories are doubled up. Each room has 2 beds. In this situation, they would be utilizing individual rooms and have individual people in those rooms. So there's only 20 available rooms for those individuals.
So 20 people could be kept here in 20 people?
Yeah, we do have 2 rooms that can have a capacity for 4 beds. So if there was a family that needed to quarantine here, we have the capability of managing that. Each of those rooms have their own bathroom attached to them.
What common area? There are common areas though where everybody would be allowed to.
Yeah, there's a small foyer area with a table and some couches, a TV set, a couple refrigerators and a microwave. No stovetop, no oven. But yeah, there's an area where they can hang out and mingle.
What about the people that are looking after them? Will they be coming and going or staying here too?
I do not know the answer to that. That would have to be directed towards Department of Health.
Okay.
The extent of our tour today will be just the dorm area. We'll see that. And
Yes, we can. Yeah, we'll make the dormitory available for you.
okay, great.
Would you say that there's been no actual changes to the dormitory, it's just the way it normally is?
Nope. The only change we've done is that there's no recruits in there right now.
To clarify, there's no medical treatment that would happen here, this is just to keep them separated while they go through the...
That's correct. There's no capability for medical treatment to be done here.
If they may had exhibited any symptoms of these, they would be taken to a hospital or other medical facility.
So is this for Washington State, or is this for, you talked about it being for Washington, but this is for anybody who's traveling through SeaTac, so is this going to be a regional hub if something were to?
Anyone traveling through SeaTac would be affected by this, or might be served in this regard.
So I know they're also recommending self-quarantine from people traveling from all parts of China, but this is not for them, only for the Hubei province, right? Okay.
Have neighbors been notified? Residents of North Bend? They've been told?
That would have to be for the Department of Health, whether they're to make notifications or not.
I did see on the North Bend website last night that there was quite a bit of chatter, and the mayor of North Bend had made an announcement and had put out some information about it. But again, any questions about North Bend's disposition or response to this should be directed towards them.
How far are we from North Bend?
6 months.
6 miles?
I'm getting 6 miles in the back room there. Plus we have a 2 mile road up from the access, so 8 miles.
I think it's important to realize that we at the Washington State Patrol, whether they're the uniformed troopers that you see in the white cars with traffic, whether it's our commercial vehicle enforcement officers, whether it's our fire training academy professionals, whether it's our plainclothes detectives and the over close to 2,000 civilians like myself who work for the Washington State Patrol. We're in the service business. People have asked, why are we doing this? Obviously, the facility itself matches the immediate needs that the Department of Health and other state and federal agencies have for a quarantine facility. But we're in the business of public service. We're in the business of public safety. And this is a public service and public safety effort. So it makes sense for the Washington State Patrol to be involved.
Is this a good time for the fire academy to have this with like lack of recruits and whatnot? Is it sort of a dead time? And you guys can make it work, or is it?
We can make this work, and we're prepared to make adjustments as far as training goes in order to accommodate the need. We are currently training as we normally would.
Matter of fact, if you look out the window, you see the smoke coming from one of the training facilities. So there's active training going on as we speak.
And the Department of Health will make the, judgment on, you know what, we're finished using you as a facility, thanks for your help.
Yes.
I mean, and there's no estimate on it.
No estimate, and obviously, the Washington State Patrol we're beginning our 100th year of service on September 1st. Will be the beginning of the 100th year of service for Washington State Patrol. We'll be here for another 100 years, and we're going to do whatever the state needs to keep our citizens, our guests safe, and that's our job, that's our duty. If it's serving on the roadside or serving in this capacity.
But no estimate from them?
No,
Like,
no.
hey, we need you for a month, 2 months?
No estimate, but we're there for whatever the needs are of the public of the state of Washington. Any questions? Any questions about the specifics of the academy itself? How many people do you go through here in years now?
We run approximately anywhere from